Welcome back, family. I'm so excited to share Healing at Home with you all. This is a film that I created a few years ago, and when I created it, I was struggling with my own healing journey, y'all. I was trying to figure out how to engage in a healing process that honored the fullness and the complexity of my own experiences as a Black woman. And the biggest question for me at that time in my healing was, how do I curate a healing space at my home? How do I force my home? I was living in a tiny studio apartment because y'all know Oakland rents be trying everybody's life, right? So I was living in this tiny studio apartment, paying hella much for it, and just feeling discouraged because I already was feeling like being outside of my home and out in the world was filled with so much pain and trauma and uncertainty. And then I was going home to this new apartment I just moved into and not feeling like it was a healing space. And so this film was created for me to think about, what would it mean for me to make my home a healing space? What would that process look and feel like for me? So the film is a lot of images of me in this apartment, y'all. My homegirl came over and agreed to take some shots of me on her camera. And honestly, y'all, the film came before the poem. So the images that my homegirl captured of me actually inspired me to write this poem about my relationship to my home. And it was a healing process. And I hope that this can be inspiration for y'all as you're preparing your final projects. I really want y'all to engage in a healing process of creating something that represents your own relationship to yourself and your healing and your identity, right? That's what this project was for me. As I was creating it, as I was writing the poem and putting these video clips together, it was affirming for me, so affirming for my spirit about where I was at in my healing journey and what I needed from myself, what I needed from my home, and how I could force my home to become a space that would hold me, that would nurture me and comfort me into my self-discovery, right? And so I created this film as a way to provide another opportunity for Black women and for myself, right? To see ourselves more nuanced on screen, to create healing media that let us be complex and imperfect. This was a big deal for me, y'all. Y'all know I be trying to come up in here looking cute, right? I be trying to have my hair done, throw a little bit of a mascara, a little bit of eyeshadow or a lip, right? This was me saying, I'm gonna be bare on screen, y'all. I didn't have on no makeup. My hair was a mess. And I wanted to grow comfortable enough in my own skin to be seen bare. Like we talked about with Cranes in the Sky by Solange in the last video, right? Black women allowing ourselves to be laid bare, to be naked, to not be dressed up and perfect and performing, but just to be raw and real and authentic and struggling, right? That's what this film was for me. Me trying to allow myself to be struggling on screen and to not feel like anytime I'm on screen, I have to be all put together. And so that was a big, important piece for me around allowing myself to be nuanced on screen in this process. And so I want to read a little bit of the poem for y'all and just talk through some of my intentions with creating this media piece. So I start off saying, you started as a blank canvas. I'm talking to the home, y'all. I'm talking to the apartment, right? I'm telling the apartment, I need you to be a healing space for me. So how are me and you going to work together to ensure that you, apartment, give me, Black woman, what I need to heal, what I need to be whole, what I need to be well, right? So I start off talking to the apartment. I say, you started as a blank canvas, uncurated, uncultivated, uncushioned, quiet. Squeaks of your hinges haunted me. Hardwood floors felt cold and callous, cutting through the thick of my skin beneath my feet, frustrated. I couldn't read you. I couldn't reach you, yearning for some form of recognition from you to see me and set me free here. Lay me to rest in the rawness of your warmth. So I'm begging this home, y'all. I had just moved to the Bay, right? I'm a Philly joint. Y'all already know that. And I'm from Atlanta, right? So I'm from the East Coast. Just moved to Oakland, just moved to the Bay. I didn't know my neighborhood. Like, I just was feeling so disoriented, and I'm begging this home, like, hold me, please. This tiny studio apartment, y'all. It's one of them apartments where you look and you see the kitchen from the bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a little box. And I was begging this box, like, please be what I need you to be right now, because I'm struggling and I need healing, and I need my home to be a space of healing. And I'm frustrated because I got to that home, y'all, and I felt scared. I felt afraid. I felt lonely, right? And I created this media. I created this art piece from that place. And so I talk in the film about all these different healing modalities, right? All these different tools, all these different ways that I was leaning into healing as a way to connect to my home and to myself, right? So I talk about the sensory experiences, right? What I can see, what I can smell, what I can hear, what I can taste, what I can touch, right? The textures, and what I can feel. So in this clip, I'm burning sage, y'all, because I'm trying to clear out that energy that don't belong in the house, right? I'm trying to clear out that energy and bring in a new scent, right? I talked in the last video about my homegirl Valencia, right? And her platform, Everything Shed. So I'm trying to shed old things of myself. I'm trying to shed old energy out the home, and I'm trying to sage it away, right? To quote Solange, I'm trying to sage it away. And so I'm in this process of trying to cultivate and curate a home for myself. And I'm documenting it, right? I'm documenting this process through this media piece that I've created. And then I go into the cultivation. How did I cultivate this space? I say on move-in day, in order to keep saying, I decorated every inch of every corner, placed petals of dead flowers in the cracks of your crevices, just to remind myself there is life after death. There is life after death. And this piece here is talking about that ancestral presence, y'all, that ancestral spiritual healing, which we're going to get into more next week. But I was talking here about how do I decorate and design my home, my house, to ensure that I'm experiencing all types of forms of healing of my body, mind, soul, ancestry, spirituality, y'all. So when I'm saying I'm putting these petals, right? These petals of dead flowers, because I need to remind myself, I need that visual representation to remind me that there is life after death, and my ancestors are present, and they are here, and they are with me, right? Carry couches and chairs down East Oakland sidewalks to make you my sanctuary, to shelter myself from you, in you, with you. You would become who I needed you to, because I needed you to. Be it 1 week or 2 or 3, I would make a home of you. And I did, y'all. I made a home of that space, that tiny studio apartment. I made a home out of it, because that's what my spirit needed. That's what my healing required of me as a Black woman on my journey. And there's a lot of clips in the film where you see me just looking at myself and trying to see myself reflected back to myself. And I'm moving in and out of fear and darkness and haunting, right? I'm moving in and out of the healing and the despair and the discomfort. And so what I did here was every time that there was some difficult emotions coming up, I changed the color to this neon color because it represented for me like a moment where I'm so afraid or so terrified or so jolted into emotions that are uncomfortable that I'm literally moving away from reality, right? And then the moments where you see that it's like clear, right? That is no filter, that is myself. I'm able to like be with those heavy feelings. And so this clip here is me just holding myself and looking at myself and affirming for myself and reminding myself, like, you're gonna be okay. I love you. I see you. I'm proud of you. You're doing so good, right? And so this is what I say to myself in my healing journey to allow me to be at home with me, to allow me to see myself for myself in my fullness, to allow myself to not lie to myself, to be rigorously honest about who I am and where I am in my healing. And so this scene here is really special to me because it's allowing the viewer a glimpse into one of my healing modalities, right? This mirror work process. When we talk about Black women in healing and self-discovery and representations of that in the media, right? This is me discovering myself in my own mirror and cultivating this in-depth relationship with all the parts of me. And then I talk about the light, right? The hope, the possibility, the levity. And this is a true story, y'all. I went to the East Bay Meditation Center and I was meditating for 45 minutes, y'all, in my Zen. And then I opened my eyes and turned to my left, and right next to me, meditating there, next to me for 45 minutes, y'all, was Alice Walker. For those of you who are not familiar with Alice Walker, she is a brilliant Black woman writer. She wrote The Color Purple and In Search of Our Mother's Gardens, which we have referenced here, and we're going to be talking about more next week as well. And so when I was at the meditation center, I had an encounter with her, and that's kind of where this piece of the poem comes from. I say that day at the meditation center, Alice Walker reminded me with her soft hands and calm smile, embracing me carefully, you have the power, sister. The power to cultivate a garden, to pull from the powers of my mothers, to pull from the depths of the dirt and dig out the gem, to know that light always wins and I will always be light so long as I choose. And now I am light and now you are light too. And I'm talking to my home, right? I'm saying, like, I went through that process of digging through the dirt, of facing the darkness, of facing what was hard and heavy and appreciating the darkness, y'all, right? Appreciating that the darkness allowed me to move into my truth more fully, more beautifully, more authentically, so that I was able to reach the light. And there's always, I'm gonna tell y'all, in my healing journey to this day, I'm constantly moving back and forth between the heavy feelings and the joy, right? Between the light and the darkness. And we need both. We need both in our healing because they're both so necessary for our growth, right? And so you see me towards the end looking at myself in realization, right? In reality about who I am and where I am in my healing. That I can come into what's true about me and not have to lie to myself about who I am or where I am. And I end with this quote. So this whole piece is about me and my relationship to my own self-discovery and healing, right? But I end this media piece thinking about all Black women and what we deserve and why it's so necessary for us to have a home that is sanctuary. I say, and don't every Black woman deserve this? A space she can call her sanctuary, to sit still in her magic and make meaning of her life, to let her truth form before her, to cultivate the vacant space inside her heart where art is awaiting creation, where her ritual of righting wrongs and singing songs off key in her shower can occur, a place where her life can occur. Where do Black women go when life lets us down? We go home. And shouldn't our homes be spaces of healing if nowhere else in this world will be? To kneel at our altars and pray to our ancestors and rejoice to our gods and give grace to our enemies and meditate away negative energies and embrace positivity. Don't we deserve that space? And so I affirm that all of us Black women and all of us folks, right, we all deserve a place to go home, to heal, to do our healing, to know that we are safe and well, that we can come home to a place that reflects who we are on the inside. And in my dissertation, I talk about this Black feminist interior design, where I'm saying that as we Black women design the interior of our own self, as we design our own inner worlds, we can design the homes we live in from that place. And we can allow our homes and our bedrooms to reflect all that is sacred and pure for us. Thank y'all so much for letting me share my art with you. I'm so grateful and so appreciative for the opportunity to share my poetry and my Black feminist healing radical media with you all. Catch me on the next video, y'all, and we are going to wrap up this week with my girl, B, and Lemonade. Peace, family. See y'all soon.